Welcome, low ego action heroes and phoenixes. This is Debbie Levitt from dcx doing the weekly Ask Me Anything. I just got back from my haircut. She always likes to blow it out straight. And I was working on my final out loud read through of my new book. Hold on. I got the stickers, but not the book. So book is coming. The test prints should be here tomorrow. I'm doing my final out loud reading, and I got so caught up in it that I didn't put on any concealer. So sorry if don't tell me I look tired. This is just how I look. So I am trying to make sure that the chat is coming up, because right now the chat is being crabby again. Crabby chat tool. Come on. Chat. All right, I'll try to keep an eye on it. So hello, Ana Lucia. So I am here to answer any questions you have. The cost is $0, so it should be worth at least what you're paying for it, and hopefully more. And you are welcome to ask me anything about anything. You can bring up any topic that you want to discuss. It can be work related, it can be life related, it can be personal, it can be job. What else is there? So totally up to you. Big news, since you all last saw me, I passed the ICF ACC test. So if you are interested in coaching, I am now an actually credentialed life coach, and not just someone hanging up a sign that says life coach. I have been working on this for 16 months, so this is a rather serious and rigorous process, and I now have my ACC, which you can qualify for if you go to a proper school and graduate, and they have to check your recordings and stuff. It's really a lot. And then you pass a crappy test, which I did Saturday night. So, there are other credentials above this, but I am not close to them yet, because they have to do with how many hours that you have been doing life coaching and professional development coaching sessions. I'm at about 110, and the next credential comes at 500. So that's not anytime soon, but that's okay. We'll keep on cooking. So we are here to answer your questions. Do you have questions about product or service strategy? Do you have questions about startups? Do you have questions about life? Totally up to you. I'm here to talk about whatever you want. All questions welcome. You can send them to dcx.to/q. If you want to send them anonymously, they'll show up in my email. Sometimes they show up after our show ends, so I apologize if things are a little slow. But if so, I will catch them and hold them, and we'll be here next week. And Dr. Nick should be here as well. And we will answer your questions if we don't get to them today. So yeah, that is it. That's my thing. Other than that, we are filling the events calendar through March. So check out dcx.to/events. We've got pretty much all of February and March scheduled now for live streams, including a live book club where I'm going to read my book out loud. And then I'm going to take it down and turn it into a paid audiobook, but you can join the live streams for free. What else can I tell you? I don't know. Usually I hang out here a good 10 or so minutes to see if anybody has any questions. If not, we'll just wrap up the stream. But if anybody has questions or topics they want to discuss, please bring them up. This is why I'm here. Meanwhile, I will poke around my browser a little bit and see if we have anybody joining from... Well, it says we have 4 viewers. Thank you. We're not getting as many viewers as we did a few years ago, but also Tech Jobs RMS. So hello to our viewers, and if there's anything I can answer for you, let me know. What else? Thank you. Doing some research recruiting today, and getting a few people responding. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we're getting another one. Okay. Great. We're trying to do some research recruiting today for Italians speaking Italian. So, yeah. Ciao Italia. Let's see. Ana Lucia says, hold on, let me go back to my window here. Yesterday, I was able to go against my anxiety and I was able to start practicing interview answers with one of my friends. I was embarrassed because, I get embarrassed and awkward trying to speak in English, but I was like, F it. I don't have any interviews, but I really need to practice to make sure my anxiety doesn't interfere and I'm more confident speaking in English. Yeah, it's a great idea. Definitely do whatever will help you with your confidence, to maintain that confidence, to raise that confidence, all good ideas. So yeah, why the heck not? Whether that's practicing job interviews or practicing research interviews, yeah, do it all. Keep it coming. Let's see. My chat is just being funky. Yeah, any questions to anybody, from anybody? This is your time to ask whatever you want. I'm here every Wednesday, and welcome. I'm happy to answer anything that comes up or discuss any topic that's on your mind. Going to try to get my chat working again. Okay, let's try this. Aha. Okay, I think I got it. All right, so we'll give this a few more minutes. If there aren't any questions this week, that's totally fine. Some weeks we are busy and can barely make it through the hour and answer all the questions, and sometimes I show up and there aren't many or any questions, and that's okay too. So let me know. We'll wait a few more minutes. Meanwhile, I'll take a look at the calendar and tell you about what's coming up next. Let's see. So next Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about how I believe that PRDs, product requirement documents, need to evolve into what I'm calling PSDs, product strategy documents, or really product and service strategy documents. So we'll be talking about that next Tuesday. And then, of course, next Wednesday, we've got another Ask Me Anything with Dr. Nick joining. Ana Lucia says, I thought it was better if I simply practiced and made myself more comfortable with possible questions so I don't get caught off guard. And I think this may work. By the end of the session yesterday, I was already calmer and trying to say things in my own words instead of reading. Yeah, I've seen some people read in interviews, and I think that it is not the way to go. It's okay to have a couple of notes about some things you want to remember to say if you are being asked questions and you don't have an answer ready. Like people might ask, tell me about your career path. Tell me a little about you. Tell me about a project you're most proud of. Tell me about a time when there was conflict in your project and you had to resolve that. These are some very common interview questions, and if you don't feel ready to tell that story or give that answer, it's okay to have some notes at your desk and make a couple of notes, but you definitely don't want to be reading those answers. And I also want to remind people, especially in our Discord community, which is totally free, dcx.to/Discord. We've got voice channels in the Discord community, and you are all welcome to just use them whenever you want, 24 hours a day. If you want to get together and practice speaking any language together for any reason, if you want to get together and co-work, do it. You can. Use it. Use the system. It's there. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a message from someone. Ana Lucia says, I think I will never be ready for those random questions like, if you were a breakfast cereal, which one would you be? That's so weird. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been asked things like that, which is pretty lucky. I think I've been asked like some of the what's your biggest weakness ones, which are, how do you even answer that? And I guess I've been asked back when I did more design than research, someone was looking at one of my designs and they said, If you had to redo this design now, what would you do differently? And I thought that was a good question because it made me critically look at my own design and say, well, here's where I think my design could be better, blah, blah, blah. So, but other than that, I've never been asked, like, if you're a tree or how many jelly beans fit into the Empire State Building. So I haven't had to deal with those. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions or topics people want to talk about? If not, that's totally fine. We can wind up for today, but just a reminder to anyone watching this now or later, I do this every Wednesday. I'm here to answer your questions about anything and try to help out. Ana Lucia says, how do you even deal with those? I would be stunned while looking at the interviewer. I think that the way to handle those questions is probably just go for it. They're asking you a question that doesn't really have a wrong answer. What tree would you be? What dog would you be? What breakfast cereal would you be? How would you figure out how many jelly beans fit in the Empire State Building? It's not like that has a right answer and a wrong answer. I think people are probably just listening for your creativity or your imagination or your sense of humor, and I would approach it that way. Like, if it's a not serious question, I would give it a not serious answer. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but there's only so seriously I can take what breakfast cereal are you. Hey, Pepe. Ideas on transferring to service design. Okay, since we're starting to get some questions, let's put some of these in my notes for the YouTube video later, the description. Pepe, I hope you're doing well. Are you still at your same job? Okay, so let's get this question up on the screen. Paste and font bigger, and let's press. Have to remember to press number 5. There we go. Okay, how do you transfer to service design? I have found, okay, at least you still have your current job. So I have found that it is not the easiest thing to transfer to service design, mostly because if you take a look at job descriptions, very often they're expecting you, it's the same trap that I'm seeing in other areas, like how do you transfer into product management? They expect you to have a four years of a proven track record and ship a product 0 to 1. How do you transfer into service design? They expect you to have 3 years of a proven track record and show examples of your service design work. It's very hard. If you are trying to transfer into service design in a new job, it's just very hard because you're up against people who've already been doing service design for many years and usually look like the better candidate. If you're trying to take your existing job and shift into service design, that's possibly more likely if your job is open to it, and then you'll start getting some service design experience. Service design is certainly more complex because if we think about what we think of as UX design or product design, that is typically in the realm usually of digital design. We're making digital interfaces because that's the core of what our company does. There's going to be a portal or a system, and we're going to design that. Service design combines digital design with research, both the early research and the later research, with non-digital design. So sometimes it's products that people can hold in their hands. It could be things that roll off of a factory line. And then service design also combines what happens internally at the company. Because, for example, when you have a physical object, and I'll just pick up something on my desk, somebody's got to make these remote controls. Okay, someone had to design the remote control. And then factories had to make the remote control. And a lot of this goes into service design, takes a look at, okay, how do we make sure we understand how people need to use this remote control? We design the best possible remote control. We design it so that we can manufacture it well without waste, and so that it will be good for our company and be good for the customers. And so service design combines looking at all these things from multiple angles in ways that most, not all, but most UX and product designers don't. So I think the question would be, are you trying to move into service design in a new job? That's going to be hard. It's even hard for me because I can show pieces of projects that definitely were service design, but I could never show an end-to-end fully service design project that was called service design and so on. And so it's been hard for me to try to say, oh yeah, I'm just going to go get a service design job, because people expect to see 3 years of very traditional end-to-end service design. If it's something you're trying to convince your job to do, certainly I can give you some coaching on that. You might want to look up books and resources by Erica Flowers. She's a decent resource in this area. I don't love the Service Design Network. I had some fights with them. I don't think their information, they may be a cool club to join, but I haven't found their education to be strong. So there's a lot to learn about service design, because it covers a lot more things than people realize. Like in Customers Know You Suck, I talked about how an example of service design was here in Italy, if you want to get a new SIM card for a mobile phone plan, some companies have vending machines with mobile phone cards, the SIM cards. But Italy has a lot of strict rules or laws about who can get an Italian phone number. So it's not like anybody can do it. In order for me to go to this kiosk or interface, I had to show them my government ID, and they had to identify me and all this stuff. So where's the service design here? Okay, on one hand, this seems like the digital design of the kiosk so that people can buy the SIM card and start a new account with our company. But at the same time, there's a lot of service design pieces that go into this, like who maintains this kiosk machine? What do we do when the kiosk doesn't seem to work? Who fills it with blank SIM cards? How do we make sure we're not running out of SIM cards? Because where can this process break down? The process breaks down if the system can't read my ID, or the system is out of SIM cards. And you start to realize how many other things go on in these processes that go beyond the digital design of the screen that I'm interacting with. And so service design kind of combines how we make things better for users with how our company plays roles in every step of the process, including steps customers never see, like someone putting blank SIM cards into a machine. And then, of course, the things that customers see as well. So I think there's a lot to learn here. Pepe, knowing you, I think you would become good at it. I think it could be a fit for you. But unfortunately, right now, it's not easy for people to move into new jobs at all. Like I was just saying, I just got my first credential from the ICF. I have my ACC credential, and I was looking at jobs that are looking for ICF credentials, and every job I looked at said you must have 3 years of X type of experience, and I don't have any of that experience. You must have 3 years of a certain type of experience and or the next level up credential. So even the credential I have now, they wanted the next one up. And so even that felt like, oh, this isn't going to be, if I would like, or I would welcome or consider a corporate job as a coach. But if they're only going to accept people who have had 3 years in a corporate job as a coach, how do I get that experience if I can't get that experience? So it's the same old blocker. Pepe says, in an existing, but there's always politics, explaining to others what it actually is, done some of the UX and physical products. That's a good start. Yes. I think my new book will help as well because I explain service design and other things in a way that I think is going to make a lot more sense to people. I call it my atomic product market fit model. I only have the sticker. The sample book is coming tomorrow. My atomic product market fit model kind of takes a different angle on product market fit and on service design and on some other things. And I think that might help explain it as well, because when people hear service, they think services. And when they hear design, they think make it pretty. So it's a term that easily confuses people. I've rarely seen SD jobs at all in Europe, so that sucks. I've seen some service design jobs. Some are in America. A lot I've seen in Denmark, because Denmark has some master's degrees in service design, and that tends to lead to there being kind of a community there of educated and experienced people who are ready to go into jobs. So I sometimes see a lot of these jobs being USA or Denmark. But again, a lot of them expect you to have years of experience, which you would either get from a good master's degree that let you do some real work, or you have to have experience to get experience, kind of snake eating tail problem. So yeah. There you go. I hope that helps. Obviously, if I can do any coaching with you, book some time. Check some other resources that I recommended. Like I said, at this time, I do not recommend the Service Design Network for a list of reasons, but Erica Flowers' book and stuff seems interesting. I haven't read all of it. I've seen some summaries of it that looked good, and I know Erica worked with NASA on this stuff and was considered successful for very long and unfortunately got laid off, as many government-related jobs in America has happened. Yes, thank you. Thanks to you too, Pepe. Welcome to Office Hours Ask Me Anything. If people have any questions, you are welcome to ask them here in the chat, or they can come in anonymously. I'm not seeing any other anonymous questions right now, which you can always ask at dcx.to/Q. I'll keep an eye out for questions. If it comes in after the show ends, we will save it and we will answer it among one of the first next week. Oh, you follow Erica on LinkedIn. Great. Yeah, I follow her too, though I haven't seen as much service design content from her recently, but, that I think she still has books and other things for sale somewhere. Ana Lucia says, service design looks so useful. It's sad it's not more common. It should be. I agree. I'm hoping that by kind of giving people a little new way to look at service design through atomic product market fit. And again, I'm not, in the book, I clearly say, look, atomic product market fit is partially something I've invented and partially some things I'm rehashing that already exist. And one of them is service design. And so I hope that will make people feel fresh and interested in service design, and that will give it a little bit of a revival. Thank you to Pier Mario for commenting on my LinkedIn post to try to get more people signed up for our Italian study. Hello, Jack S. joining us on LinkedIn. I think service design is just the greatest thing, and I think I should have gone into it earlier, and it was just one of those things that was hard to shift into at the time, and now is probably harder, but I would love to do a lot more of it because it really forces you to think about a lot more things from a lot more angles, and I think that's a strength. I think I'm good at that. You may disagree, so there you go. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, ooh, I should have put on some concealer. But oh well, I will just be dark and circly today, and you'll all have to just deal with the honesty. Hashtag no makeup today. Just my camera filter. Camera filter not strong enough to kill the dark eye circles. Yeah. Anyway, we've got more great shows coming up in the coming weeks, and I really hope people will join for book club, where I'm going to read the new book out loud during live streams, and at the end of each chapter, take questions, and it's totally free. And then I will turn that into the audio book, and it will be a wacky live reading. There you go. So if there aren't any other questions, we can certainly wind down for today. If there are questions or follow-up questions, let me know so that I can answer them or talk about whatever topic you want to bring up. They don't have to be questions. They can be topics you want to bring up, but I'm here every Wednesday to help in whatever way I can. Don't forget, there's dcx.to. If you, like me, love to wear merch, I can't help. That's where I got my sticker. So dcx.shop is our Redbubble shop if you ever want some merch. We've got Customers Know You Suck. We've got Life After Tech. We've got Atomic Product Market Fit. I don't think we have Disruptive Research up there. And then we've got some of the general catchphrases from the YouTube channel over the last 6 or so years that we've been broadcasting, including You Don't Need Another Effing Workshop and Design Thinking. Meow, 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 Design Thinking Sucks. I don't know if anybody has been with us long enough to remember that one, that classic. Was that episode? That was the episode with Ben, what's his name? About design thinking. Oh, now I don't remember the name of it, but I used to rewatch that one and laugh at us. I thought that episode was hilarious. We ended up with meow, 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 design thinking sucks. So old catchphrases. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Not my catchphrase. All right. So it sounds like we don't have much cooking. Is design thinking still a thing nowadays? Hard to say. I've seen a few people posting about it on LinkedIn. Some people are posting about it grumpily, some posting more seriously. But yeah, I either LinkedIn algorithm figured out I don't want to hear about it, or they're not. Yeah, I think it is winding down. It's always been kind of controversial, so I think it has been winding down, and I'm fine with that. I think you still see some job descriptions asking for design thinking, but you know, whenever people say that, I say, well, what's your definition of design thinking? Because maybe it's what I'm already doing, or maybe it's what I'm already doing with a little bit of workshop theater. What do you mean by design thinking? And so far, 100% of people I've asked that to have said, well, what's your definition? I'm thinking, oh, wow, they don't even have a definition. They can't even answer that question. So it must not be much of a thing if you can't define it. All right, we are playing our goodbye song, and so I will end a little earlier today, but I will see everybody certainly for Tuesday's show, and I'm also hoping to sneak in a karaoke show over the coming days, so come and sing and dance along with me. Thanks, everybody, and remember, all the links are at dcx.to. I hope to see you in my free community, and catch you soon. Thanks.